I was fascinated by this business of Darwin and earthworm for some time now, and what I hope to do is share this experience of my journey of trying to understand what Darwin did and understood from this so-called lowly creatures, earthworms. And as would happen in many studies, I tripped upon Darwin's study on earthworms very accidentally in a very unsuspecting place, and that is this market called Dugar Market, Ajmal Khan Road. I don't know if some of you have been to this market in Delhi, and I am particularly fond of this street because it offers you lots and lots of stuff, including sleeping bags, and if you want to go to the Himalayas, and some cheap stuff. But there are some right at the end of this street there, at that right end, you have a number of old bookshops, and I used to frequent that. And when I was doing that sometime in the early 1990s, as I mentioned there, I tripped upon this book by Darwin on the pavements of Karol Bagh. The title of that book is a very long title. It says the formation of vegetable mold by the action of worms and so on and so forth by Sir Charles Darwin. I am sure no one who has visited that bookshop would have had a second glance on this title except a die-hard fan of Darwin, which I was. And so I took it up and looked through the book. It was quite musty, dusty, and whatever. You can't expect anything better of a book in the pavements of, and probably this has been there ever since Darwin wrote the book, of course, not bought by anyone. And it's of course mystery about who landed it there, and he must be probably a die-hard fan of Darwin, but then found out that this is not his cup of tea, which I will tell you also is not the cup of tea of many Darwin fans. And anyway, the curiosity took the better of me, and I finally decided to buy this book. And then, as many of us on an impulse who will buy books, we probably don't read the books that we buy. Is going to be sort of closeted in some of the bookshelf or your almara or whatever, and so I sort of put it across and forgot all about the book. And the title, as I told you, is a very long title. It's called The Formation of Vegetable Mold Through the Action of Worms with Observations on Their Habits. Now, Darwin had this obnoxious habit of writing long sentences, and that habit did not even leave him in framing the title, very large title for a book. And of course, today it won't be a bestseller just for length of the title of the book. I sort of kept the book in cold storage, and about 3 decades later, early 2010, I sort of decided it's time now to see what Darwin after all has written in this book. And so went about pursuing the book in some detail. So what I am going to be talking to you, ladies and gentlemen, is about the journey that Darwin took through this small creature, I suppose an annelid, and what lessons it has for the larger learning of the sciences, I would say, of the invertebrate ecology on one hand, and as you will see, of geology on the other hand. And third, which attracted me to this entire book, was a sheer facet of Darwin which I was not aware until then, and that is, besides being a keen observational scientist, if I have to use that word, he was a deep experimenter in the modern sense of the term, of what each of you might be using, the techniques and the skills of maybe analysis and statistics that we now sort of use to bring out and unfold the mysteries of nature.